Hey guys, welcome back in. Going to continue some more Abandoned, Extreme, Permadeath, Abandoned mode, whatever it's called. Um, I did manage to get in this morning and found a spot for a base. Um, it took really long time actually. The curious deposits are spread out really far. Um, I did find a pretty decent space. I already started running some mold through, um, up to like 7,000 nanites now. So we do have a spot here. Um, then I do have another one over there. One way the heck over there, which I might not even need that. Um, and then there is another one right where my ship is, like over here, like 4 or 5,000 yard or units away. So I think I'll be able to just do fine with just this one, and then I can teleport over to that one, just keep bouncing back and forth. Um, and I do have oxygen over here, which isn't too bad. But we do have magnetized ferrite, so I'd want to set up a system for that. And our electricity is right there. And there is emerald over here, which I might set up as well. But I think I still have nanites in here. Let me grab these out. So you can get quite a few for each run. I open my inventory. Like, let's see here. Pretty much each run I can get pretty much from like this square all the way down to here, just curious deposits. So it's quite a bit. Because I've only got 6 refiners right now. I might end up bringing that up though. I just want to do a couple test runs of this stuff to see how much I could actually get and how long it takes. It's like 45 seconds for each run, and you can do 5 runs to get a full stack. So it's like 5 minutes. But if you're going, bouncing from one to the other, that 45 seconds goes pretty quick. It'll actually be better because I'm thinking I'll probably have either 8 or 10 refiners going all at once. So it shouldn't be too bad. Do I have anything in here? Okay. Alright, so set up the base here. And I don't actually know because I need to do a bunch of stretching. Okay, so I need to actually go get supplies. What about our ferrite supply? Alright, so I'll probably use ferrite to do a lot of the expansion. What I'd like to do is I'd like to expand my borders before I do anything. Just so I can get things kind of laid out and, get my refiners in place. Actually, let me check that as well. Alright, so, oh yeah, I need metal plating. What I'm going to do is, if I can build it, put one of these down. Alright, I'm going to need 3 microprocessors. Actually, I'm just going to make those. Put this down. Yeah, that way every now and then I can just rob whatever I need out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and just buy all the metal plating. And I was hoping that'd be magnetized ferrite in here, but no go. Alright, and I'm pretty sure I kind of cleared out my ship. Oh, there's a bunch of those crystals here too, so I've been trying to get a bunch of that together. Let's just bring silver too. I'm just gonna fly around for a few seconds, see if I can get a bunch of stuff together. And I do have, I did do a scan. I do have dihydrogen in some of the small, there's little tiny rocks that contain dihydrogen. So this planet is actually really good for a lot of different materials. Better than I thought, so. Yeah, I'm gonna need a good amount of dihydrogen for more refiners. I'll just fly around here for a few moments. Load up on a bunch of stuff. Yeah, because I did find a couple curious deposits pretty quickly, but there was no oxygen around them, so I wanted to make sure I can get oxygen. Gather up a bunch of this stuff, and then hopefully won't have to do this again. Let's see what we have. I got a couple different ideas because I do want to bounce between a couple different curious deposit spots. So I might be able to use the short-range teleporter for the one that's near my base. I don't think I'm gonna have to like run between multiples. I think I can just do fine with 2 of the farms. So, all right. So that should be. Let's just see if we can get a little bit more of the ferrite dust. Need 1 more piece. Alright, that should be good. Alright. And I think grab out some of this chromatic metal. That should be enough. I think that will work to get me going. Alright, so there's quite a few walls now. Alright, what I like to do is start at the furthest thing I need to stretch to. That's 500. Okay, so that's... Actually, the furthest one is going to be this 800 units. So, and our oxygen, I won't have to stretch at all. Alright. So I'm going to start off with magnetized ferrite, which I don't even really need, but it just makes getting pure ferrite a lot easier. So when I get down to a couple hundred units, I'm gonna have to stretch. Alright, we're gonna just back up a little bit. And we're just gonna go with the, actually, what do I have for carbon? Alright, yeah, I can't build very many carbon. Alright, and actually let's see how far you can move towards that. Okay, I was already like right on the line. Alright. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna build up 3 walls. I do that just to kind of mark my boundary. And then just kind of do this. I build up 3 just so I know that that's where I started to expand my boundaries. And I always go with 3 walls. I go 1 in the center, 2 on left and right. Mainly so it makes the buildable area a little bit bigger. It's kind of overkill, but it's just how I've always done it, and typically don't have any issues. What I do is I go out, I don't even know how far I typically go, but typically I would go out to right around here in between each, so let's 1, 2, yeah, go out like 7, so about, you know, like 50 units, something like that. Just do that like each time until you get down here. Yeah, I like to get this out of the way first. That way I can just focus on building stuff after. Let's just leave this. We're pretty much right there anyway, so. And I will just drop 1 here, just to kind of refresh it. I always put a couple behind where my marker is. Let me make sure I can build. Should be able to build 1 of these now, right? Yeah, I can build 7 of them if I want. So, let me go ahead and get this put in place. This is going to be our magnetized ferrite, and it's an A class, so I'm not picky at all about how much I pull out of this. Let me just move this up here, though. I do want to try to get at least a somewhat decent number, though. Yeah, if I can hit somewhere around, like, you know, 76, 78, that'll be fine. It's one of those things that I might stop by, like, every, you know, every now and then. 76 is good enough. Alright, so that one's done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way back here. I just leave all these walls right in place. We have our electricity, which is that blue marker. I'm just going to highlight that. Now I'm going to end up hooking my electricity directly up to this over here. So I just want to make sure like I'm not going to run from over here directly to my base. I'm going to run over here first and then run to my base. So I just want to make sure I can build in this area. Right. Sometimes this can get a little bit confusing, but as long as your boundaries are big enough, you should be okay. You just have to remember that you probably won't be able to build a wire between that electrical and your base. You have to zigzag over. I'm doing that just to save on time more than anything. Alright, so we're going to back up here a little bit. Alright, and I'll do the same thing to go to our electricity. Yeah, because what I'll do is I'll end up pulling a wire all the way up here, pretty much to where this setup is for those two walls. I'll put like a pylon there or something, and then just attach the wire directly to that, and then come over here and run a wire back down to my base. I should be within the buildable limit, so I'll just repeat the same process over here. Let me just do that. And if you're running into a thing like I'm up on top of something here, so what you do want to do is typically, I believe it's a 50 unit radius you get every time you put down something. So because I'm going to a totally different elevation here, I do want to make sure, even though it's not that far away, I just want to make sure I have something down really low. That way, because you see this bubble that I'm making right now, pretty much what you're doing is you're expanding this bubble every time you do this. So I want to make sure I have something down low. That way, it'll increase your vertical distance as well. I'll just go and do something like that. And the same thing when you're up higher. Like if I was building this in the opposite direction, I would want something up here as well. Or you're trying to just build the size of this this giant globe you're in. All right, so we're gonna hop down there. I think this is only like a C class electric, if I remember right. Oh no, it's a B class already. So yeah, I don't plan on having too much power here, but I'll probably still stick down like probably two EMGs. So yeah, I was thinking about just going with batteries and solar panels with everything, but I'm probably going to end up putting down a couple biodomes at some point too. So I want to make sure I do have a little bit of power already connected. Down there. All right, and this one. Now, because I am going to have multiple generators here, I do set these up a little bit differently. I like to try to get as much power as I can. So we're going to do a scan. All right. All right, so I'm going to go off this wall. It's just going to be a temporary thing, so not really lined up all that great, but we'll get the job done. Just move that. Alright, so I want to get as close to 73 as I can. '72, '73. I'm probably going to be at 72 anyway. Alright, we got 73 right here. So what I'm going to do, they changed some stuff, so I have to go in here now to do it, I think. Alright, so I'm going to go, oh, it brings me back to my wire. And we can't cycle part anymore, can we? Thought we could still cycle through these. No, it brings you right to wire. Alright, yeah, cycle part doesn't work anymore, so we have to go wire. I'm just gonna stick a wire down here. Alright, all I'm gonna do is how many of these? Okay, I can build 8 of those, so I'm just gonna glitch one of these on that wire. Alright, and we actually got a 73. Actually, a little surprised. Alright, so at least we know where to glitch. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to drop it down. So I'm going to glitch a wall there. I'm going to pull a wire up to here. Pull a wire over here. And delete all this junk. Alright, so we do have a wire now down here. So I'm just going to glitch 2 EMGs right on that wire. If I can remember what menu they're in. And go ahead and give them a color. Alright, so we'll just glitch 2 of those right there. And that did not glitch on the right spot, I don't think. And that's better. See, I do it like this so that they're sharing only one wire. That way I don't have to run a wire in between each of these. I can just run one wire and they're already all connected together. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie into one of the sides. Let me put down a battery real quick. I just want to see what I'm pulling out. I'm pulling for power. Should be like 5 something. Oh. I might have to come back and put another one of these down. I'm just not sure what I'm going to end up pulling. I'm only going to have 500. Yeah, because those are 250 a piece. No, those are 50 a piece rather. I think I'll be fine with this much. I'm not going to have like storage containers or anything. Alright, so I'm just going to pull a wire from here. And I'm not going to bother trying to make this look fancy or anything. So I might have a bunch of wires just kind of floating in the air somewhere. But I have to, every 200 units, I'm just going to put down a new... I do want to try to hide it a little bit, but I'm not going to go super anal. This is just, you know, this is a save that nobody's going to end up seeing anyway. So I'll just run this out until I get to 200 units. Oh, actually, wire doesn't matter too much. Pipe, you have to be a little more worried about. Alright, so I'm just going to set this. I'm going to go into free placement. Tie that there, then go back in and connect right into that. And I'll just run power right down to here. And we will have to make another connection. We're gonna run out of room here. We still got like 30 units or so to go, so let's go and get that connected. Alright, and we have power, everything's working fine. To recharge real quick. I'm not going to bother. Actually, I should run power down there. I think I will. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do down here quickly. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna stick something that I can just tie into. Just gonna be a temporary. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll just do a battery because I'm gonna probably want a battery anyway down here. I gotta keep an eye on my magnetized ferrite, even though I'm on a planet full of ferrite. Yeah, I'm gonna end up using up quite a bit of it. Alright, so we're gonna go that back connector. Yeah, that way I don't have to keep running back and forth over here. I can just run all my power right to that battery. I'm gonna have to run power to the base and over to that oxygen as well. Like the oxygen I won't have to stretch my boundary for, so that's not a big issue. Let's get that terminated there. I'll just connect right into there. Okay, so that's the hardest part of this setup done already. Make sure everything's actually working. Nope. So far, so good. Now I do want to check real quick, make sure I can build at least one of these. I think I'm only going to need like one oxygen silo anyway. Let's see what our silos are at. We're at 3. Let me grab some more metal plating out of here. Yeah, it doesn't fill up super fast, but it does fill up pretty quick. Alright. I think we'll actually see if I can have any more stuff I can bring over. Alright, I want to see what can I build. This. Alright, so I do have quite a bit of that. Oh, for some reason I thought carbon floors were more than 10. Oh, it's walls that are 25. For some, I get those two flipped around sometimes. Alright. Yeah, I think we'll go get our oxygen put in. That one I won't have to stretch. You know, this base won't take long to set up, but I haven't been able to build anything in a while, so I'm actually looking forward to just kind of messing around with a little bit of base building. That's typically what I end up doing more than anything, base build. Alright, we're gonna move this thing out of the way. And just see, like, I'm not so worried about the numbers on this either. Actually, what class was that? It's a B class. Alright. I think I will actually try to get a decent number on this. I don't think I'm going to be, you know, I don't think the save is going to be around for very long, so I don't want to put a ton of time into it. I don't see myself sticking with abandoned mode after finishing the challenge, so we got 59%. Yeah, okay, if it was like a normal permadeath save, I might put in like multiple runs of oxygen, just as a long-term thing. I don't think I'm gonna really bother with it. This one. Alright, what do we have? 59%, that should be good enough. But I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna drop it down into the ground, you know, onto the ground. Why is that not? It's acting weird. There we go. Why is my wire way over here? What the heck? Why do the opposite way, maybe? Yeah, see if that lines up. Yeah, this... For some reason, I don't know why my wire is way the hell over here. What is going on? Maybe it's because I'm floating in the air? I wonder if that wall is like interfering with something. Alright, yeah, that's how we should be snapping it. That's weird. With this one, I am going to keep this wire here, just in case I end up doing separate runs of oxygen, because sometimes instead of having one run, it's 1250 oxygen. Sometimes you want to get 2 runs of oxygen or 3 runs, just so you can harvest one silo at a time to do different things. Especially like on Permadeath where your stack size is so small. Sometimes you want to just take a little bit of oxygen at once. So I'm going to leave this top line here, just in case I decide to add in a second line later on. I probably won't, but who knows, I might just change my mind. So, alright, so we're going to go and glitch it on here, hopefully. Alright. What we'll do is we'll just run our power right back. And if I get a chance to, I do like to use like caves and stuff to hide my wires. So I like to take advantage of that when I can. So I'm just gonna toss my wire up against this somewhere so it's not floating up in the air. Just try to make it look a little bit neat. Yeah, it's going to be sticking out over there anyway. I'll just put down a wire hider. Oh. Yeah, that's actually going way too high. That's going to drive me nuts. So we have our wire here, so I'm just going to dig a hole. Alright, we'll just tie our wire in here. And hopefully I can get all the way over here without it popping through. I will a little bit, but more than I like that. I'll just put another hole over here. Alright, so we're just going to tie here and run it back over here. Nobody will even notice that. Alright. I always try to remember to fill these in because every now and then it will affect your render if you don't fill these in. Well, a couple holes like this ain't gonna really matter much, but if you do a lot of them, it can. Alright, so we've got those all set up. That's gonna be a really hard one to stretch to. So, what I'm gonna do is do a quick save. And actually, what am I gonna need to build these? Oh, I thought I needed, okay. For some reason, I thought I needed, carbon nanotubes for these. Alright, so that actually won't be too bad. I will need some gold. Actually, how many can I build? Oh, I can build 17, so it should be good. Trying to think of the easiest way to do this. Alright, I think the easiest way is probably going to be just to stretch my boundary now. Because I want to figure out how many, because we're going 800 units, so I'm going to have to put down 5 setups, so that's going to be 10 of those teleporters. Jeez. Yeah, the workaround for that, I mean, I could put in a landing pad over there and just fly between the two. It's just, it's so much faster just to teleport, or to use a short-range teleporter. Let's get that charged up again. There was something I wanted to check here. Can't remember, what's it in? Something in here? Right. No. Okay, we have magnet gold. Okay. So I can grab more gold here if I'm gonna need it. And there's 12, alright. So I should be actually fine. So, let's take a quick peek at my stuff here. Right, so we did use up a good amount of that fairy dust already. Alright, so yeah, go stretch our boundary to that other thing of mold. Alright, and yeah, head over. That way at least get the boundary stretched. I can worry about getting things lined up for the teleporters after. We're gonna go out here. We run out of building permissions. shouldn't be too much longer. I'm gonna have to stretch like 500 units. Alright, there we go. And just do the same thing. Might have to switch over to carbon. Actually, let's get that a little bit straighter. Yeah, I always do these 3 walls here just so I know where I began stretching. Just helps me to kind of keep track of things. Now, when you're doing a teleporter bridge, you want to try to, keep your short-range teleporters somewhat straight. So what I'm doing is I'm using my center wall kind of as a guideline when I go to put these teleporters down. And I always put them on a platform too. That way they're like not angled weird or anything like that. Try to keep everything as straight as possible. That way, hopefully you don't get booted out into the middle of the sky or something. Because sometimes, if they're not lined up right, they kind of kick you off in a weird direction. It's not bad on a planet like this because it's airless, but on a non-airless planet, they can get you in trouble. Especially if they fling you, high up into the sky or something. Something you want to try to avoid on Permadeath. Especially if you're not ready for it, Yeah, we still got quite a bit. I'm going to have to switch over to carbon. Yeah, I try to avoid doing long stretches like this. Because if anything's going to screw up, it's typically, when you get a long stretch like this. Alright, so we're going to have to swap over to carbon here. Actually, let's just get rid of that and I'll go right over to carbon now. Because you don't really have to do 3 walls. I always do it just to be extra safe when I'm expanding like this. Because sometimes you'll end up, if you're running like pipe or something, sometimes you end up with a weird thing, like you gotta go way over here for some reason, and it will actually break the connection. And you can connect to it and everything while you're building it, but if you leave the system and come back, sometimes things won't connect, correctly. It's like they don't render correctly or something. So try to minimize that by making my build bubble a little bit bigger. So we'll go right here. I can probably go ahead and just make a platform here now. Kind of box this stuff in. Alright. So, figure out what I'm going to do here. Alright, so that moves. I don't want to build too much stuff if I don't need it. Okay, those are half walls. really... Oh, I can bring that in, actually. Oh yeah, we can't glitch like that anymore. So, what do we do? What do we do? Alright. Where are they? Right here. So I think our small paver, go over here, make another one. Try to push this in a little bit. That's going to be too much. There we go. There, that should work. Oh, that is connected. What the heck? Oh. Go up to there. Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue with those rolling. I think that might end up actually destroying that. Yeah, I'm trying to do this without destroying like the ground and stuff around it too. Just go like that. Move that over there. Actually, I might just use these instead of doing a whole wall. I don't know why I keep connecting to that one. Let's just go up to there. No, I do want that lower. That looks kind of weird. The whole thing looks kind of weird. Now you actually want. I have a feeling that's going to destroy it. Oh, no, it didn't. Alright, that'll work. I thought for sure it was going to destroy that. Alright, so we can actually go ahead and get one of these teleporters put in here. That'll give something to line it up towards. Actually, that's facing the wrong way. Like, I shouldn't really need a roof here, either. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother with a roof. Alright, we're going to leave that marker there just for now. So where... The thing is, I don't know where this other, my beginning teleporter is going to be, so I'm just trying to estimate going by that. Alright, so 806. So it's going to be what was 670. Because I go, typically I'll put one like every 175 units, because you can only go 200 units between these. Oh, okay. I'll know, once I have the other one in place, I'll know where to, you know, how to stretch these things out. And hopefully they work alright. Alright, do a quick save. Now I considered enclosing these right inside the base, and then having a line of refiners over here. You know, like 10 refiners, something like that. Have this be inside of the base. That way I don't have to deal with sentinels coming by or anything. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. I don't know how high up. Actually, I don't need it this close either. Bring that up so it's kind of snug. See, it's weird because I have a bunch here and then only like one or two that are going to be over here. If I go there, it's still gonna. Oh, actually, that will meet up. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't want to do that though. Don't do that. I just realized I'm using the wrong thing. I actually wanted to use these, but alright. We'll grab some ferrite dust. I'm gonna end up with a ton of this stuff after I delete all these walls. But actually, do I have extra in here? I don't. Let's go get a bunch of ferrite real quick. Gotta wait for them to render in. Yeah, luckily the larger rocks here have just ferrite dust. Typically, a lot of times you can't break them because they're pure ferrite, but on this planet, they're actually ferrite dust, which is actually really nice. A little bit more than that. I have a feeling I'm probably gonna have to make up some magnetized ferrite too. Couple of stacks of ferrite right now. probably good enough. I'm trying to get at least like 2 stacks. All right, that should work. Alright, so I like going with the ally when I'm doing this, and actually I am going to end up expanding this thing out, so I want to, luckily it's pretty flat here, but what I do want to do is I want to make sure I build up high enough so that I'm not like, got this stuff like going through the side of my base or anything. So I will kind of drop this down. Go to that. I'm gonna have to come out 2. Let's just get rid of those. 3. Alright, so that'll be the inside of the base. And be like my little farm area. Yeah, I kind of wish this one wouldn't be right there, but it is what it is, I guess. Actually, let's take these out. See if I can drop this down a little bit lower, too. Yeah, I don't think I'll have an issue. Let's just take a quick look, though. Yeah, I shouldn't have an issue with that. Let's go out this way a little bit. Yeah, I shouldn't have any problems with that. We will drop these down. And if I can get like natural lighting, I'd like to do that as well. I should probably should put glass in these. Actually, we'll just seal it up for now. They'll probably end up coming back here and altering some of this anyway. Alright, so we'll have that part like that. You know what, that's all going to be dead area. Just do something like that. I should be able to hit all those without much issue. Go to our floor. Alright. Oh, I think maybe just going wood for the interior probably work out a little bit better. Be a little bit brighter too. Um, oh, I don't have freighter parts, do I? I'm trying to put like a brighter color here. What can I get for colors here? Man. That's one of the problems there. The colors are actually pretty crappy on this wood. Yeah, because that doesn't actually give you white. Actually, I think this one was probably the brightest one. And it doesn't even like really change it. If anything, that looks a little bit darker. If I had freighter parts, there's a couple different things you could do. You know what? I think I can just make the regular base one work. Oh, I wanted to check walls on the floors. I don't know what the heck I was just thinking. So, go over to this one. Alright, and we want the middle wall. Alright, yeah, see, that's a lot brighter, actually. Like, I'm not gonna make this face, like, fancy or anything, so... Just gonna be spending a lot of time here, so... Alright. I don't know if I should go bigger than this or not. Go put one of these down. One of these. Kind of get these put in place because I'm going to want them later. Actually, I don't know how many how many refiners I'm actually going to put here. So let's grab these 6 though. I want to see what they look like when they're lined up. And also, I don't know how far I'm going to space them. I might. Yeah, I went over too far here, didn't I? I knew something looked off in here. Alright, that's a little bit better. So these medium refiners, I'm gonna glitch them into place. I'm just gonna put that in my cache. Grab one of these, and because your medium refiners, when you put them down, they're backwards. They're facing away from you. But if you look at the top of this short wall, there's a thin side and a thick side. You know, looking at the top of it. So what you want is you want the thin side to be towards you, because that will flip your refiner around. So there's the front of your refiner, and that is the wrong placement. Alright, so I do want to come out this way. I want to be over here. So I'll go in, grab my refiner, grab my short wall, and I want the thin side facing me. So I'll flip that around and miss my glitch. There we go. So I'll do it again on this side. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how many refiners I think I'm actually going to need. So I think that will actually work. I think I can get, probably just do 8 over here. So I'm going to go do that and that. And just do the same thing. Yeah, at least the cache glitch still works, or the universal adjacency. I keep taking away our glitches, so there we go. So I built 4. I should be able to build more. Okay, yeah, I can build 2 more. Alright. Actually, I can build more than that. I still have a bunch of dihydrogen in my my exocraft. Let's I don't even know if I put down. Yeah, I did. Alright. Oh, I thought I had more than that in here. Okay, build 3. Alright, yeah, I should be able to rip this out. Oh, I might have to get more magnetized ferrite, maybe. Oh no, I've got 500 there. Alright, I should be all set. I think I'm gonna need to grab... Oh yeah, my exocraft. I've got a bunch. Just realized I was looking at my ship inventory. I think that'll work good. Have 8 on this side. That leaves me some room for other stuff over here. Alright, so let's do the same thing over here. Yeah, if you look at my stuff, it says I can't build any, but I have all the material I need. So I'm just gonna glitch it all in. Again, there we go. Get rid of that. And same deal. Saying I have all the supplies I need. This is just how you can get around the limitation of only having 3 of these close to each other. Because you can build as many as you want, but you have to space them out. So this is a way to bypass that issue. Alright. Let's go get rid of these extra short walls. And they should be lined up so that I can easily get to them. Just pretty much all I'll be doing is running around in a circle, feeding medium refiners. Actually, we can put down another one. Yeah, like if I go out here somewhere, yeah, I can still put down 3 more of these. It's just they don't want you to have too many of them next to each other. What I might do, I thought about putting 2 right here, but I think they're going to interfere with accessing those. Actually, what I think I'll do is put them here instead. That way I have 10 of them. Put one there. Oh, I forgot that. That's alright, I can do it on this side instead. I forgot that wall was there. Alright, so that'll give me 10 refiners. That'll work out good. That way, if I'm doing a bunch of runaway mold and I'm trying to do condensed carbon or whatever, I can have them kind of separate a little bit. Let's get these out of here. I knew this was going to be mainly like base building tonight, so... Alright, so we should be good there. Alright, because that'll leave me plenty of room for other stuff over here. I'll have my teleporter. I'd like to be able to build this, but I need to get storm crystals for that. I'm not going to bother with like carbon planters or anything, because I'm really not going to need it. Oh, I do need stuff to make the plants there. I need gut rod, but okay, I'm gonna have to actually go get like Fecium and stuff for that. So. Think about doing that later. I'll just start saving it whenever I get a damaged machinery with some in it. Alright, so I shouldn't have an issue here. Figure out what I want to do for a roof. Actually, I don't know if I want to expand this up too. It can get kind of dark in here. It probably wouldn't hurt to have a couple of these in here for now. Oh, and I need my, okay, we're gonna do a teleporter. I guess we might as well just do it right here. Yeah, I think that would work fine. So, get one of those put down. Bring it a little bit more. See, I hate how tall these things are. End up bringing this up. I think I'm going to do probably my teleporter over here, or my base teleporter. I don't really feel like shrinking it down, so I just stick it over here like this. Actually, no. Because I don't want that thing to be running constantly. Alright, so I am going to shrink it. What I do is I tend to use the palette for when I'm resizing stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the palette as small as I can. I'm going to go one there, put another palette on top, and make one that is the same size as those two. That way I'm getting a teleporter that's 2/3 the size it normally is. That way I don't have to have this giant friggin' base teleporter. Stick it over here in the corner. I always use a proximity switch with it. Like that. Hook right into that. Little tiny guy now. It's not like the real small ones, but as long as it's a little bit smaller, what I like to do. Pull our wire. Go right back to that battery. I kind of wish I didn't dig up that other thing, that hole that I had here. I was hoping maybe I'd be able to find it in the ground. It's alright with this. Oh, it's too close to Starship. Alright, we're gonna just dig a hole here. That way I can try to keep my wires out of view. I mean, I can always use a wire hider. The problem is if, you can use a wire hider, but if somebody visits your base and they go into camera mode, they can see where all your wires are. So that's why I always try to hide them. I try to make things look a little, a little better, So, stick our wire down here. Go right up to there. everything fires on when I get over here. Alright. Yeah, I think I will do a tall wall there and then just close everything off. Anything tall that I can put. Oh, I can put my oxygen here, I guess. Let's go make that red. I was looking for something else that's kind of tall that I could just stick over here. Actually, let's go get that oxygen tied right in. Try to make it look a little good. Dig down there and fill that up. Alright. Take our pipe, stick it down here. Making our way over here. What I'm looking for is to use that cave again. There's a cave here somewhere. Right here. Hopefully I can get down a little bit deeper than that wire was, though. Alright, yeah, looks like I'll be able to. Sneak that right down here. At least we can get these silos starting to fill up. Alright. Yeah, at least that pipe is hidden pretty good. I actually forgot I had those silos that I was going to have to make. Let me make sure I've got enough to make another one. Alright, good. Alright, so we already have some oxygen. Which is good because I actually need some. Good. Okay, I do have some in my ship too, but... So we can do that there, and... I think our... magnetized ferrite, I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. I am going to make that a smaller silo, though. I'm going to take my silo, put it in my cache, copy that palette, and miss my glitch. That's not normal size. Or smaller size, rather. There we go. Yeah, they made these silos way too big. Huge. What I might do is just stick it over here, though. Bring it right up here. I just don't want these things to, like, interfere with each other. And so nothing's connected to that. Alright, so I'm going to take from the inside. I don't want to be anywhere near this silo when I do this. So I'm going to pull from here. Let's stick this as far down as we can. saying invalid position. Okay. Alright, connect again. I'm gonna run out of something here. What am I low on? Probably ferrite dust. Yep. Go grab a little bit of ferrite dust. Oh, I need. Oh, it's regular carbon I need. Where the hell is my ship? There it is. Bring this over. Alright, now we got plenty. Alright, I'm gonna connect into there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this hole I already dug that wire's in. That way it'll hide my pipe and it won't be like floating up in the air anywhere. And make our way over to our magnetized ferrite. Over here. I just run this out as far as I can, and then just make another pipe. It should stop any second now. Then my connection's too long. Right, there we go, connection's too long. Make another one. Yeah, unfortunately you have to pay for pipe, whereas wire you don't have to pay anything for. Hoping to get to it. Hoping to get to a low area, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. Yeah. It will be kind of up in the air over here, but nobody's ever going to see it. Tie that in. And I'm going to leave these walls here for right now. When I get things done, I'll end up deleting all these walls. Managed to get quite a bit done already. Granted, it's not like it's a huge base or anything, but I always want to make sure everything is running. Everything's, tied in and everything when I do this. Right, and we will grab that magnetized ferrite out of there. Yeah, because magnetized ferrite is great for making pure ferrite, so that's why I like to try to get some of it. Alright. I still don't know what I'm going to do for a roof. Actually, I might need some pure ferrite for a roof. I think that's typically the roof I go with. Oh, and there is a light in these. Alright. Oh, and it's just ferrite dust I need. Actually, that'll work fine. We'll just box this part in. I just want to make sure it doesn't make me feel like too claustrophobic in here. But typically, the roof is typically like the last thing I put on, so yeah, that'll be fine. That'll work. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing over here yet, so I just want to leave that side open. We'll have our teleporter go over to there. Oxygen match. Alright, so it's not looking too bad. It's coming together. Let's get that charged up. See how many of these I can build now. Alright, so I am getting low on something. Chromatic metal, I'm good. That stuff. Actually, how many metal plating do I need for these? I need 2 apiece. That's probably what I'm low on. Just buy all of those. Oh, now I can build 8. So it must be gold? Wait, how much? I need 30 gold. Okay, so yeah, it is gold I need. I don't think... Yeah, like 3 of those, I guess. Oh yeah, I've got some in my ship. Oh, that's alright, I'll just use these up. Alright, I only get 125 of these. Can I refine 2 of these at a time? Right. Yep, just let it refine all the way through. There we go. That way I get 250 out of it. Okay, yeah, now I can build 18 of them, so good. Alright. If I stand right here, that's going to be 800 units. So, I think probably go 150 units between each. Yeah, do something like that. Alright, let's check. I'm going to need a couple other things when I do that. I'm going to be able to put down at least some of those. Yeah, that's a small panel, right? Okay. That should be good. Oh, I am going to need sodium. The light floors. So 5. So, actually, I think I've got sodium in my ship. Actually, jump in here and make a save at the same time. So, yeah, not very much. So, I don't need a bunch of this, so I'm just going to use them for light floors anyway. Okay, with our teleporter bridge we're going to do, you can only go out, they have to be under 200 units apart. A lot of times I go like 175, 180, but because this is such a long run, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go like every 150, 160, something like that. Yeah, the longer the run, there's more of a chance of something going wrong with it. So we're gonna start at 800. So when we get to around 650, then I'll put my first set of teleporters. All I'm going to do is I'm going to use that yellow beacon as my marker and try to keep these as straight as possible. So, should be getting close to 650. Down here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So, what I'm going to do is I got to figure out how to situate these first. I haven't done this in a while, so might take a few tries to get this thing lined up right. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. Build our light floor. Yeah, because we're gonna end up with like the last one's only gonna be like 100 units away, so I got plenty of kind of space to mess around with. Okay. Oh. I don't know, the build system has been weird for a while. Like, I don't like how this stuff snaps. Let's get that one in. Actually, no. Let me go out this way a little bit further. Get our wire in place. Get another wire in place. Now, I don't remember how to flip this. Is it just pulling a wire? Alright, no, that's facing the same way. Alright, so do that. Put a light panel on this side. Do I pull back to here? End of there? Okay, nope, so that's not it either. Alright, so we'll pull a wire from there to here. Alright, so that should work. I think. Let's see what we get. Alright, so I'm gonna go close. Go far. There we go. So that's what we're going to be looking to do on these. I just have to remember how the heck I set that up. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so... Yeah, I can never... This is the only good thing I see about this little system. Oh, I don't want to attach that. This change to the wires in the center, that's the only good thing. Typically, it would be one wire in the middle, you know, like this, but the symbol would just kind of rotate on the same axis. It wouldn't bounce back and forth like that. I think that's the only good thing about this system. The rest of it sucks. Alright, so we're gonna get down to, what, 500, get the next one. Alright, so back up here a little bit. I don't even know what I have more of. It just goes there, right? It does. I'm going to end up deleting all these little supports anyway. Alright, that one was down a little bit lower, so I want to make this one kind of low too. Yeah, and like these don't have to be dead on or anything, so I'm not too worried about them. trying to remember where things are in my menu. That's in here. We'll get our center point. That. That. Alright, now we pull from here back to center. Nope. I always get that part screwed up. I'm pulling from the center to here. Now I should have two. Yep, there we go. We're going to go close one first. Far away one second. Alright. Alright, so we should be, what, 350? Sorry, had to grab the drink there. Started friggin' coughing. Alright, go do another one. Make sure, yeah, I've got my 2 glitch points. There we go. Actually, I should start removing these things. Alright. Then this one. Like, did I screw up the map here? $350. How far away was this? It should be 350, right? Okay. Right around 100. Oh wait, no, it'd be 200, wouldn't it? Shoot. Actually, let me check something here real quick. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have to just build another one. 350, 200. Yeah, I don't want to take my chances here, so let's see here. I'm actually gonna aim for kind of cut this in half. 250. I'm gonna go. Yeah, because we're gonna end up putting another one in here anyway. For some reason, it's because I'm so used to doing like 180 units that this part is screwing me up. I need to check these other ones actually. How far away? Actually, I want to delete these things too, actually. Alright, so this should be 6, yeah, it's right around 650. It should be 5. Actually, get rid of these. For some reason, I thought one of these was off, but this should be 350. Okay. Two. Yeah, I'm gonna end up doing another one. For some reason, yeah, I'm used to them being like 275 apart, so. I'm just gonna go. I can't remember where. Okay, there it is. I'm just gonna go to like 225, I think. Actually, I don't want to go that far away. Yeah, I can do that. I'll just go like right here. It'll work. See, I'd rather have the distance be too short than to have it be too long. Especially right at the end. Let's get this one put in. Then we'll put another one like 100 and, you know, like 125 units or something. Just to play it safe. Yeah, because if you start doing really long runs or doing runs that are like 195, half the time something ends up breaking. So, let's go do this. One there, put one there. Get our glitch point. Actually, I want to do it all over here. That one. That one. That one. And pull from here over here. Yeah, got our 2 different glitch points. And we can get rid of these because we won't need them. We shouldn't need them anyway. Yeah, there we go. And get 2 of these glitched in. And we'll just take something like right in half, so down here till we hit like 125. And actually, I forgot that marker is off a little bit, so far away is that? 110. Yeah, we'll just go right over up top here. Character is always in the way. Either my character's in the way or the ship's in the way. It's always one or the other. I'm gonna do that. Get our light for. And get the last couple of these put in. Alright. And hopefully these things all line up now. What I do like to do is, with the power on these, I like to just kind of go to the outside. Actually, I want to use this one. Alright. Of course, it's not going to give me a wire right away. Alright. Why am I having trouble just getting a single wire? There we go. I like to do this with my wires, just so they're not in the way. So I'll go back and do that to all of these. You just want to make sure you're connecting it to the actual teleporter, not to one of the other wires that's hanging around. Let me double check myself, actually. Just make sure those are actually connected to the teleporters. Okay, yep, we're good. And do this all at once. Let's go ahead and run our wire in between these. I'm not going to bother trying to hide this wire, so I'm going to connect right to the one that's down here. Bring it all the way back to this. I'm going to go all the way down to that other teleporter. Rather than get everything powered up. Alright, we're gonna get that one. And oh. Yeah, let's just do things one thing at a time. Alright, let's get our power. Then we can run our, oh, I never put a wire here. Get this charged up. Those other ones were ferrite, so go do the same thing. And actually some of those floors have to get rotated around too. Yeah, sometimes you'll see people, they'll just put a wire between the two of them. And that works fine too, but sometimes you can like bump into that wire. You know, especially like when you're teleporting, and sometimes it'll fling you off. So, I think it flings you. Could possibly just be my mind imagining it too. Alright. This is something that's actually simple to build. It's just I haven't built one of these in a couple of years at least. I'm trying to remember how some of the stuff was done. I think I've got one more down here, don't I? Yes. Oh, I somehow knew I was going to forget this one. You get my floors put in. Alright, and grab our wire. Alright. Make our way back over here. I can probably tie into that power that was over here somewhere. There we go. That'll be fine. Nobody will ever see that. Alright, so I'm gonna do a quick save. Go grab myself a drink and use the bathroom, and I will be right back with you guys. Alright, now let's toss in our teleport cable. These are pretty easy. Just gonna connect to this one. Go to your first one, and pretty much you're just going to make a straight line all the way over. These I like to walk out, just so that I know I'm actually connecting to the right one. We're going to go to that one. We're going to go on this side, connect that one right to the next one in line. Because sometimes people will put them going, instead of straight on, they'll do them side by side. Sometimes doing it that way can get a little confusing. But as long as you hook them up the same way each time, you should be good. Now I worry that when I go to teleport, don't know if these walls are going to get in my way or not, so we'll have to see what happens. I might actually end up hitting one of these walls instead of actually teleporting straight through. But this is something I can kind of clean up in the morning and get rid of a lot of these walls and stuff. Alright, so we don't have power here for some reason. Connect that to that. Alright, so that disconnected. Alright, so we lost power somewhere. That one should be our final cable down here. Alright, now let's see what's going on with power. Just forget to put power here, maybe? Let's see. I may have connected to something that wasn't supposed to. Oh wait, no, I have power down here. One side doesn't have power. Nope, they both have power. Why is it saying those aren't powered? Oh. One of these is off. You look at my connections here, I'm missing a power on this side. What I'm doing is supplying power to the wire that's inside the floor. So let's take that, connect to that, bring that down. There we go. So that should be that problem solved. Check all these. Sure. Still have life support up again. And he uses a lot of oxygen just running back and forth. Oh, and I never ran power to that one. Just run a cord back to that. Alright, so if this thing works alright, what we're going to do is just harvest this quick. So that should be a pretty good amount just right there. Now hopefully we landed our base. Yep, made it all the way back. It'll take a few seconds for that to render in, like for all this stuff to render in. And the Sentinel's going to give me a hard time, so I might put a roof out here. just going to, yeah, typically don't give you too hard of a time. Yeah, I'm going to box it in because I don't want to be having them shoot me. Why don't I have power there? Probably because I didn't hook up power. Let's just bring that down. So, hook up power. Alright, now we have power. Now jump back in here. We got mold bath. Yeah, I'm gonna have to box these in. Because sometimes I do like to keep them open, just so I can easily shoot sentinels. Alright, so we did get kicked out there. Okay, so I might have to kind of fine-tune some of these. If you see something like this, don't jump in the middle. Because you never know where it's going to shoot you out. Yeah, so this might take a little bit to get fine-tuned. I might have to put in more teleporters. If it ends up being too big of a problem, I might just put in a landing pad. Right. You should hypothetically be able to just keep jumping back and forth. You know, they'll pop back in. They'll pop back in again. You know, you should be able to just keep harvesting these over and over again. It seems to be working pretty good right now. Every now and then he will get kicked out. Luckily they're not too far away. I'll probably keep the marker out here. Just to, you know, as a reference point if I do get kicked out. But I'll jump on tomorrow morning and try to get this thing set up a little bit better. What I might do is just add in more of the stations. I'll go like every 100 units or something. Plus, I'm not sure if these walls are interfering with things too. So, well, the ones that are just out there in the field. But yeah, it should be able to just keep bouncing back and forth. I just fill up your whole inventory and just start refining. So. Pretty much I'm full already. You know, and I end up... See, sometimes I do leave the door open so that I can just blast a couple sentinels here and there. You know, then they can't really do anything. You know, see if we can just box this right in. Do that right now. We don't have to mess around with it tomorrow. Oh, and I'm out of carbon again. Let them count down. I'll go grab some more carbon. I might need some ferrite too because my roof takes a little bit of ferrite. Grab some carbon. Oh, inventory's full again. But I'll jump on tomorrow and try to get some of this stuff like fine-tuned. Teleport bridges, they can be useful, but they can be a pain too sometimes. So I'm sure having all those all those walls in the way probably aren't helping it either. And we're going to need one more wall up here. That way they don't bother me. What I can actually do here is, if I can build it, alright, build a few things. Box this right into. Get away with just doing a half wall. To be able to just shoot them and just jump back in here, and these will all pop back in. That way you don't have to do save and reload over and over again. It's just quicker to be able to bounce back and forth when it's working correctly, of course. See, the elevations are kind of weird here. It always seems to be this one. So, yeah, what it's actually doing is I'm flying in this way, and instead of hitting this one, I'm bouncing up over it. So, yeah, sometimes you never know those things are gonna shoot you when you take them. Yeah, sometimes you make the trip no problem, and then I'll probably get flung out again. Yep. So, something to get kind of, oh, it's this one this time. Alright, so yeah, tomorrow morning I'm going to jump in and see if I can get this thing figured out. Okay, it's not a big deal. I mean, they're only 800 units apart, so I mean, I can probably fly that distance in one jetpack, so yeah, it's only way over there. Yeah, so, yeah, tomorrow morning I'll see if I can jump in and get it tuned a little bit differently. But, I think that's gonna do it for me tonight, guys. I think quite a bit done. All we did was base build, but at least this is the type of stuff I enjoy doing more. Just kind of experimenting a little bit. Probably do put some stuff in here. I want to put, you know, like my trade terminal. Actually, let's just grab that trade terminal right now and put it in. Oh, inventory's full. Can't even do that. Oh, actually, let's break. Oh, can't do that either. Yeah, I'll mess around with it today, tomorrow morning and see if I can figure out what I'm going to do with this base, because I have no idea what I'm going to do. So, well, guys, I appreciate you guys taking the time to check this out. I know all we did was build, but get back to exploring tomorrow, start warping, finding some graves, and all that good stuff. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to check this out, and I will see you next time. Take care.